What's up guys, it's me Deshaun, and let's skip the formalities. Like the video if you like it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, if not, that's cool too, and let's dive right into the video. At the number 10 spot, we have Kishibe. It's pretty obvious he's going to make it on this list as he is the strongest devil hunter and a member of the Special Divisions 1 in the Public Safety Devil Hunters organization. And that should honestly say a lot when we take their resources into account and the amount of devils they all potentially have contracts with. For example, Aki has the ability to look into the future with the Future Devil, but despite a crazy ability like this and a really broken contract such as this, Kishibe still ranks over him. Even as a regular human, his skills are pretty much unmatched, even when in comparison to other devil hunters that have contracts with very powerful demons, or the demons that actually exist in the Special Divisions 4 group. Well, to clarify, the 2 fiends and 2 devils that are members of the Special Divisions 4 group. He is actually the leader of this group, but not only this, he would also rank over them as well. After all, he is number 1. Again, with this respective rank, it's a no-brainer as to why he would at least be on this list or potentially be an honorable mention. Unfortunately, the full extent of his powers are currently unknown, but he's contracted with 3 devils: the Claw, Knife, and Needle Devils. As for number 9 on this list, we have Rize. Rize, or however you want to pronounce her name. Please don't correct me in the comment section below. But anyways, Best Bomb Girl deserves her spot on this list. Due to Rize's flexibility and versatility with her abilities, despite the simplicity of her abilities being to blow shit up, she takes full advantage of this simplicity, using it as movement options, offensive options, and so on and so forth. Using her explosions in the form of a counter, being able to fight up close and at a distance, taking advantage of her regeneration by making a headless doppelganger version of her, making it run around and actually use that same doppelganger as a bomb. All of these options in a fight make her an explosive force on the battlefield, and despite only being at the number 9 spot, she could respectively hold her own with most of the people on this list, or at least put up a decent fight. It is unknown what kind of training Rize was actually put through. After all, she only briefly mentions her training, but due to her versatility and overall skill with her powers, I don't think it would be too far-fetched to say that she's mastered her weapons devil's power. With her skills and destructive capability alone, I think she deserves the number 9 spot on this list. As for the number 8, we have Lady Quan Chi. Quan Chi actually used to be Kishibe's partner, and if it weren't for her no longer being a member of the Public Safety Devil Hunters, I think she would actually be number 1 over Kishibe. And if we actually read the introduction of Chainsaw Man Volume 8, she is supposedly the strongest humanity has to offer, and this would be the reason why Kishibe would actually want her to side with him against Makima. And with Quan Chi being the first devil hunter ever, that says a lot about her overall skills and experience. In her regular human form, Quan Chi is so strong that she has superhuman strength and insane agility. In one swift movement, she was able to cut down an army of dolls, traveling from point A, an alleyway, to point B, through a building and up the stairs, cutting down everything in her path. And the after effect of this vicious attack actually breaks her sword, crumbling it as if it were balled up like paper. As you can see from this monstrous display, she's killed everything in her path. And this is just her human form. With pulling a feat off like this in just her human form, and then you try to comprehend the amount of experience and skill she has as the first hunter and the amount of versatility she'd have mastering her devil powers as a weapons devil in comparison to Rize's disgusting versatility in her respective skills, she might actually be the strongest humanity has to offer. As for number 7, she might just be even stronger. Power in her full blood devil form. As far as blood manipulation is concerned, and as far as how important blood is to every single living being, this would virtually give power an advantage over every single living being, and that's not even including the types of advantages she'd have against a demon. You see, in Chainsaw Man, demons regenerate from drinking blood. They feed on the life force that is within blood. And as the blood devil, not only would Power have unlimited access to blood, meaning that she could just manipulate her own opponent's blood, consume it and regenerate from it, but she could also cut off her opponent's chance to actually drink blood and regenerate from it. Let's say if Power and Denji were to fight. Denji and Power were both trained by Kishibe, so they should both have around the same combat ability. If not, I'd say that Denji is slightly stronger. But with all that aside, let's say that Denji and Power start to fight. They both give each other a considerable amount of damage. But what gives Power the advantage in this fight is that she would be able to constantly drink her opponent's blood and manipulate it. So during this fight, she would be able to regenerate. But as for her opponent, they would not be able to regenerate. So despite Denji having an advantage over her in terms of combat ability, it would merely turn into a test of endurance, and he'd eventually lose and die. This would be a perfect example of how disgusting of an advantage Power would have over her opponent. But to really put this into simplest terms, unless you could come back to life or keep yourself alive with the zombie devil, the moment you fight Power and she turns your blood into blades and kills you, there's nothing that you could really do. And with the option to drink blood being cut off from you, you're basically done. You're not fighting her back at all. And this is not including the unlimited flexibility she has in combat when it comes to the endless potential of the amounts of shields and weapons she could generate while fighting her opponent. Giving her both close range and long range capabilities, she could easily make a dagger and throw it at somebody, blood shards, etc. And also, I'd like to point out the fact that when Power is in her full devil form, she's also still sentient. So any form of combat training that she received with Kishibe, she'd still have, and she'd still be able to trick and deceive her opponent, similar to when she was trying to outsmart Kishibe with her blood traps. I just really like to point out that Power isn't dumb. Maybe it's debatable, but she is not that dumb. And again, just in case, I want to clarify that this is Power in her full devil form. Practically unlimited resourcefulness, a direct counter to almost everything in this series that is living, including devils. In decent combat ability, I definitely think that she earned this spot on this list. Despite not being as strong or skillful as everyone else underneath her, her blood manipulation makes it an easy dub. W! Number 6 on the list, we have the Doll Devil, aka Santa Claus. Well, technically, she's not actually the Doll Devil. She just has a contract with the Doll Devil. We don't actually get to see the Doll Devil. After Santa Claus consumes a piece of one of the primal fears, the primal fear of darkness, she actually attains enough power to defeat Makima. Well, at least that's what her contract was supposed to be. But due to consuming a piece of the primal fear of darkness, Santa Claus becomes busted. Her wounds heal instantly when in the darkness. Any form of pain that she might take travels to dolls all over the world. And when it's nighttime, she actually gets a huge power boost, becoming a giant monster. And due to consuming the primal fear, her knowledge and wisdom actually deepens with the power of darkness, putting her combat prowess on another level entirely. But unfortunately, she had a bad matchup by fighting Denji because she cannot actually comprehend fools. Alongside this, she has also developed a weakness, and that weakness would be light. As I'm explaining it now, Santa Claus does not sound all that strong, but definitely do not sleep on her. Allow me to explain. Santa Claus has enough power to kill Makima, and this puts her above a majority of the entirety of the cast of Chainsaw Man. During her entire fight with Denji, she was basically just toying around with him. I'd even go as far as to say this entire altercation with Santa Claus did not do her powers justice at all. She was tanking Denji's attacks simply because she viewed them as futile, because she could simply just distribute her pain to all the dolls around the world. But not only this, Santa Claus would have very little to worry about, because even if she were to die, she would simply come back as one of those dolls. And to put it simply, Santa Claus is literally immortal and nothing can kill her. Literally nothing. That is exactly why the Cosmos Fiend had to overflow her mind with total understanding of everything in the universe, because there would have been literally no other way to defeat Santa Claus at all. Again, she can't die, and her two major weaknesses, which would be fools that she could not comprehend and light. when it comes to fools, or when it comes to anybody that she's fighting for that matter. In due time, she can understand your behavioral patterns and develop a counter against you. And with time, the powers of the darkness will evolve and make her even stronger. I cannot stress this enough. The only reason why Santa Claus got shafted was because of a bad matchup with Denji and direct counters with Light, in making her overflow with the understanding of everything in the universe. We all have an idea of what the primal fear of darkness is capable of, and I doubt we even seen a fraction of what Santa Claus is actually capable of doing with that little piece she consumed of him. Now I know number 5 on this list will be a little questionable, but I decided to put the Hell Devil as number 5. For what very little we've seen of the Hell Devil, and I doubt we've actually seen any of its real power, it might even be higher on this list considering that it's the fear of hell. Honestly, there's no doubt in my mind that it should be higher on this list, but as we know from what we've seen in the manga, I'm gonna have to put him at the number 5 spot. So what we've seen of the Hell Devil is only equivalent to 6 sacrifices, so there's a potential that he could actually be stronger than what the public safety devil hunters actually offered as a contract. Keep in mind, they also summoned this same Hell Devil with the intent to kill Makima, so he should be around her level, if not on the same level as her, based on this contract. But unfortunately, despite with these context clues, the Hell Devil actually gets one-shotted. I'm not gonna tell you who one-shots him because he's on this list and I don't want to spoil it. But the main reason why I put him so high on the list is due to one ability. The ability to cast his opponents to hell. And what makes this so dangerous, I believe that anybody below him on this list, if they were to get casted to hell, they would get ravaged by all of the demons and have absolutely no chance of fighting back or getting out of hell for that matter. Similar to what happened to Denji and company before when they were fighting Santa Claus, they were simply casted into hell, and guess what happened? They had bad RNG and one of the primal fears showed up. So if we take into account the overwhelming force of demons that whoever had been casted into hell might have to fight, I guarantee you they're not winning because they're going to get overwhelmed because they will not be able to leave. It literally took Makima going into hell and using her control powers on someone who has already had a contract with a Hell Devil to bring them out of hell. If Makima cannot get out of hell with their own powers, then who can outside of the Chainsaw Man? And with this ability, I cannot stress this enough, you better pray you have good RNG and one of the primal fears does not show up. Again, if he did this to anybody on this list below him, they are not surviving. And if you were to put number 4 on this list in that situation, I guarantee you he's shredding everything in hell to pieces. Number 4 on this list is the infamous Gun Devil. In the span of 5 minutes all around the globe, the Gun Devil killed 1.2 million people like it was nothing. Outside of having one of the coolest entrances in any manga. No, I am not joking when I say that. I am not exaggerating. When you see these colossal sized bandoliers hanging from the sky, you know it's the end. Immediately upon the appearance of the Gun Devil, his ability activates. The ability to fire a bullet through the head of every adult male within approximately 1,000 meters of the Gun Devil. The ability to fire a bullet through the head of every child ages 0 through 12 within approximately 1,500 meters of the Gun Devil. The ability to fire a bullet through the heart of every living thing born in the months of January, February, March, May, June, August, September, November, or December when the approximate 1 kilometer range is confirmed. The Gun Devil has motherfucking aimbot. Unfortunately, we do not see the full extent of the Gun Devil's power, but based on what little information we do have of him, yeah, he's definitely number 4 on this list. There's no arguing that. As for number 3, we have Makima. Also, fun fact, we dropped the Makima vs. Gojo Satoru vid on the channel. Go ahead and watch that after this video. To put it simply, Makima is probably easily one of the most overpowered characters in the series, if not potentially the most overpowered, minus the number 2 and 1 spot on this list. She's so broken, she literally one-shots the Gun Devil. With her abilities as the Control Devil, she can basically take control of anyone she believes to be lesser than herself. And this means if she were to fight Goku, she could just believe that he was lesser than her and she'd get the automatic win. I'm joking, don't piss yourself. Due to Makima's ability to control virtually anything that she believes that is lesser than herself, this gives her a wide range of versatility in combat. We don't know the full extent of how many demons are under Makima's control, but based off the ones that we've seen, all of the weapons devils, you know, good luck fighting all of them at the same time, and that includes Lady Quan Chi. The Angel Devil, which is basically hacks because if you get hit by it, it is taking off literal years of your life. The Zombie Devil, which practically makes Makima immortal. And number 4 on this list, the Gun Devil. Again, we see a lot more that she uses throughout the series, but I really don't feel like I need to cover them all, especially when number 4 on the list is literally under her control, and she one-shots him. So, point proven. On to number 2. Chainsaw Man himself, the full incarnation of Chainsaw Man. Oh my god, you do not know how broken he is. Upon consuming his opponents, Chainsaw Man actually erases your name from existence, basically erasing you as a concept. For example, in the world of Chainsaw Man, Nazis, World War II, Arnold Syndrome, SOA, AIDS, the Mount Hill eruption, and nuclear weapons do not exist because Denji literally ate these things and no one can remember that they even existed. After eating the devils that are based on these things, their concepts no longer exist. The idea of these things don't exist and probably never happened in the first place. He can literally erase your existence. It's almost like he's a Crimson Denizen. If you know what that's from, you're a real one. Chainsaw Man is so strong after being banished to hell. He completely decimated hordes of demons like it was nothing and climbed out of hell by himself. He is so strong, he fought Makima and all of the weapons devils at the same time, and Makima declared that the fight was unwinnable. Denji is so durable and his regeneration is so strong after being shot into outer space. He rips out his own heart, throws it back into the earth as he's burning from the earth's atmosphere, and smokes all of the weapons devils and Makima all in one fell swoop. Even in a weakened state, he was able to take an 1,000-year spear, which takes off 1,000 years of his life, and still managed to survive a hit from it. Again, we do not know the full extent of his powers, but this dude, he's just broken. Now, before we do the number 1 on this list, and I know what you guys are thinking, what is more broken than Chainsaw Man? This series is literally named after him. Before we dive into the number 1, I gotta get this honorable mention out the way. The Cosmos Fiend. I know a lot of people are probably questioning why she's not on the list, but to really just give you an accurate reason as to why she's not, it's because when it comes to her Halloween attack, granted, she does overflow your mind with full understanding of the universe, and that is a pretty broken ability, but she has to land this attack in the first place, and I don't think she's going to land it on anybody on this list. Very broken move, most likely probably the strongest move in the series by far, but if you cannot land that attack, you're useless. GG's. And as for number 1, we have one of the primal fears, the Darkness Devil. Oh man, the fear of darkness. How strong is this guy? Unfortunately, we do not see many feats by the Darkness Devil, but the fact that he is a primal fear easily puts him above everybody on this list. We've seen what a small piece of the Darkness Devil did for Santa Claus, and that easily made her top 10 strongest in the entirety of the series, and that was just a mere piece of the Darkness Devil. The moment he appears in hell, the torture of all of our favorite characters begins right before our eyes as he rips all of their arms off, or should I more accurately say pops them off, as if they're insignificant slabs of meat. And he does this by practically doing nothing. He is so strong, we don't know the location of the Stone Devil, but he instantly teleports him into his hands and kills him. He is so strong, simple gestures will decimate any opponent that faces him. One word will put holes all throughout your body. You have absolutely no fighting chance against this thing, and that is no exaggeration, because you'll never make contact with him due to his invisible force field. His presence alone will kill you. He's so strong during this entire altercation, he didn't even have to use any of his powers. Despite Makima bypassing the Darkness Devil's force field and actually manages to damage him, those damages are instantly regenerated. Similar to how Santa Claus said that if she's in darkness, her wounds instantly regenerate. He covers himself with his cloak and his wounds are no longer there. During this entire altercation, he is merely playing with his food. One small piece of him was enough to give Santa Claus the power to kill Makima. I know I've been saying this a lot throughout this video. Not much is known about the full extent of his abilities, but the fact that he is a primal fear makes him slap everyone on this list. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 list. Feel free to watch other videos on the channel. Subscribe if you like Chainsaw Man. Like the video if you like Chainsaw Man. And I hope you guys will watch more of my Chainsaw Man content in the future. Bye. Have a beautiful time.